Hey, all freeze cracked here. It's been flooding here for like a week or something. It's supposed to rain today, but I decided to video anyway, so you might see a mad scramble, or you might suddenly disappear and then there'll be a mad scramble. But I thought I would hit this rock, and this is all I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna hit this rock. I'm not trying to make anything. What I'm trying to do is to get a biface. You're like, get a biface? Yes. This is this is Texas torture root beer, and it has like concrete sort of cortex, and probably the cortex down to this end doesn't have much flint in it. So we're gonna see. So this is just bashing. Okay. Bashing. Did you hear that thud? Okay, I'm too far out on here. Hold on. I'm going to try desperately to remain on screen for once. Don't get me wrong, I like root beer. Root beer's cool. The finished product of root beer is cool. Okay, I'm too low with the screen a little bit, because sometimes I turn it up and look at it and you can't see what I'm looking at. And you're like, what's he looking at? What's he looking at? That's risking being too low. I don't know, man. I'm too conservative a lot of times with this stuff, because I hate wasting rock, even though I'm going to waste it later. That's the thing. Psychologically, I try and conserve all rock as if I'm going to just have a keeper case of bifaces that are full size. And of course, I am not. Now, okay, this is the thing. If you're using fairly small, fairly light, it's not light, I mean, this is a solid head, but fairly small, fairly light, then you get this kind of nonsense. And if you don't want that kind of nonsense, you got to learn to wrangle the big, heavy, powerful. Oh, I ought to go find one of my big, heavy, powerful things. I could get a hammer. Nah. I'll just go with this bopper, but now here's another thing. Somebody was saying about my obsidian video that I was hitting slow with big mass, and they would have tried to hit it faster with small mass and had a problem. And one of the things that I would like to say about that is, I also think that in spite of what you would think, that I'm more accurate with big than I am with smaller. And one of the reasons I think that is, I kind of flick like this. And so the mass, once it gets started, tends to sort of go in a straight line because of its own inertia or momentum or sciencey word to make it go that direction. A force in motion continues to be a force in motion until it's no longer in motion. That's Freeze cracks corollary to Newton's fifth dimension. So anyway, I noticed years ago when I used to, when I started out, my concept was things were not working well. And I thought, well, you know what? I have to go faster. So I was using like a 1/4 inch diameter bopper swung at 150 miles an hour, and it wasn't doing squat. But the thing that I did notice when I was using some of those kind of techniques, I'm being kind, was that number one, when you switch back and forth from boppers that are shorter to boppers that are longer, there's an adjustment there that mentally you have to make, which you don't have to do if you switch back and forth between boppers that are same weight but same length, or different weight but same length. But then the other thing was, is I noticed that when I was swinging the smaller stuff, it just tended to wobble or go, you know, it wasn't as direct, straight to where I intended to hit as the heavier ones. Now that's my theory. I do have all of them. And I'm not sure that the adjustment to like permanently using the bigger ones is something that can or should be made by everybody. But I'm just saying it's what I do. Pretty much. Backwards. Ah! It always seems like the worse the cortex, the better the rock sometimes. See, I said always, and then I had a qualifier in there sometimes, so whatever your experience is, I was right. Now, this big old bopper, that just went that far. Oh, I lied. This big old bopper went this far. If you had used a smaller bopper, it would not have gone that far. I could make a butted hand axe out of this with poofy, fluffy basal ornamentation. Yes, that is a drop of rain right there. It's not spit. Speaking of which, though, really? There's potential liability to talking when you're napping. Unless you have really good stomach acidity. See what's happening? So annoying. So, the best thing to do right there is stop that. What you got is, you got tough and dense and pain in the butt, and fairly good, easy to break edge quality. And it wasn't highly abraded either. I think I need to knock this off, but I need to do it really fast. So, why do I not have a hammerstone sitting on this table? This is too light, but I'm going to try it anyway. Hammerstones can be your friend. All right. was doing some yard related work this morning, and I'm a little bit rubber armed before I started hitting here. I'm stepping down because it seemed like speed might be okay. So I need to stop this one here. Dadgummit. Oh, somebody said something about the fact that I was working without a net over just bare concrete. And I dropped a preform the other day and it didn't break, but I think it made a concretey sound, and they said, you know, that they do this and that, and they attenuate the risk. And my thing is, I don't do that normally. I do this bare concrete stuff when I'm videoing because sometimes the background color messes up the videoing. But sort of a side thing that I like is the risk, because I mean, it's going to be funny as heck if I make something really good and drop it and it shatters into 47 pieces. I mean, that'd probably boost my ratings and my subscriber base and all that kind of stuff. And I can become what I really want to be is I want to be a lithic influencer. Okay? Yeah, you heard it here first. I've never admitted this before. I want to be a lithic influencer. And so then the reason behind that is I figure if I become a lithic influencer, then I will be able to go to resorts and ranches and things where there's great lithics all over the world for free, right? I'll just show up there and say hi. What do you mean you don't know who I am? I'm a lithic influencer. Yep, that's the plan. But the ego side of me cannot actually simply invite myself places. People have to hear about me. I pushed on that to sink it. People have to hear about me and call me all breathless and excited and say, Mr. Cracked. They can call me Mr. Cracked. We've been wanting a lithic influencer to come to our resort, our lithic resort, our rock resort, and get a large load of primo material so that we can build our brand. I don't know what that means actually. I hope it wasn't profanity, but building your brand is apparently, it wasn't a thing when I was starting off in social media about 1990. like a 300 baud modem and a monochrome screen. And there were folks all over this town that had like a whole bunch of analog modems in their garage. You get like 30 modems and 30 phone lines coming in your garage and connect people together so they could all lie and talk crap. It was great. Trying to remember what the point was to this. Oh, yeah, about my subscribers. Okay, so I've been on like YouTube. Oh, about the ads. I never monetized YouTube, but I think, I don't know what that means actually. I mean, I know I'm not getting a check from anybody, but I don't know what's going on. I think you may get served ads when you load up one of these videos, and if you do, well, you do. I mean, ain't got nothing to do with me. I'm just here for the flintknapping. The flintknapping. But I think one of the rules of being an influencer is I might have to accept large checks from strangers, almost like I was in politics or something. I don't know. I don't actually know much about being an influencer. I also kind of feel like maybe I shouldn't even be talking about it because my crowd, I mean y'all, I don't know how many of y'all are real head up on the idea of influencers. Dang it, I missed a rock. Dang it, I missed again and hit too high and took a stupid little flake that didn't go nary an inch. Talking crap in Baton Rouge, waiting for a train. I worked training the conversation again because trains are cool. That was better than it looked for what happened there because that was a questionable thing. I'm not paying attention to my napping. I have no idea what I've been doing for the past 5 minutes, so if any of it looked bad, that was on purpose. See that great little flake right there? I did that with this thing, and it's shorter than my usual stuff, and so I don't know what I'm doing with it, but I think I just picked that up accidentally because I saw this chalk and my brain just went and grabbed something tougher or harder or pokier. You don't have to be, you can pick at stuff too. I don't know that I've ever really mentioned that, but you can do this kind of number and just pick at stuff. But don't do it when you shouldn't do it. This is not good. I don't know if you can see that. It's all depressed inward, which means there ain't flint there. That's just chalk. So I'm gonna probably have to lose some over here. So I need to get with it and make stuff happen over here and see what I'm dealing with. Wifey just pulled up, hopefully with influencer grade vittles. So I'm gonna help her unload that real fast, and then I will be back.